Hello, my friend, and welcome back to another episode here on my Challenge Your Own podcast. It is the third time I am trying to record this intro because first time, what happened? Oh yeah, the audio wasn't working. The second time, the battery died, and then it apparently didn't keep the recording. So we're trying a third and final time. And that kind of is in alignment with what I want to talk to you about today, because this episode is really a bonus episode. It's a little bit of a different episode for anyone who is on a health or fitness journey, wanting to continuously and constantly align their daily actions with what it is that they deep down want. In this episode, we're specifically going to be speaking about nutrition and how, if you are, let's say, in a peer group where the people around you are not on a health journey or maybe take different actions than you, or you travel a lot, or you just have a hard time figuring out when to be crazy disciplined and when to let go, and what it is that you deep down want. And how this episode came about and what it's all about is because I have a challenge community. I run these challenges every single month where individuals from all over the world join this community and get a workout program, a nutritional guide with recipes, and we're also incorporating different meal plan situation for those who are wanting that, a journaling challenge, and we work on self-development and health and fitness. And every single week with this group, we have conversations. We also chat daily inside of our community group, but we have these conversations and we tend to go in all sorts and kinds of directions. But last week, Miguel from our group, who I've asked permission to share this, and he said yes, mentioned how sometimes, either when you're out in a group or you are just traveling out and about, it's hard to make the right decisions. Either because you're afraid of getting judged or you just haven't really gained that clarity on what it is that you deep down want. And he mentioned that, and as he started speaking and opening up about this, first I went on a little bit of a ramble, but after my ramble, these beautiful humans that are a part of this community, I kid you not, I cannot express to you just how beautiful, wise, supportive, loving, intelligent, and just incredible these humans are. It's as if I've just been given all these angels from all over the world to be a part of this community. I feel so freaking grateful, and I tell them all the time as well. But all of these beautiful individuals start sharing their different perspectives on this topic when it comes to nutrition and aligning your actions with what it is that you deep down want. And after the conversation, I was just so inspired, and I was just wanting to share it with however many humans as possible to also find it as valuable as I did. And so I asked Miguel if I could share it, and he said yes. And then a couple of days ago, we have another conversation. And at the end of this conversation, Patricia from our group shares that she's been on this, journey for 2 weeks at this point. And then now, just a couple of minutes ago, she messaged me her before and afters, as in today it's been 17 days since she started. And I'm going to pop these photos on the screen because it's mind-blowing. And my thought is, yes, she's changed her habits. And like she's mentioning, as you will see later in these conversations that I'm about to share, she's saying how when she joined this challenge, it's like she's learning about nutrition again for the first time and learning this to speak this new language, which that's my whole goal, is helping people understand the simplicity of nutrition so that they're set up for life and can really, know exactly what they need to do to achieve any specific certain goal that they have within their fitness journey or just health in general for the rest of their life. And so she mentioned that she's changed all these things in her diet and learning to understand, and that she lost 9 pounds, which is absolutely mind-blowing in such a short amount of time. But I'm also thinking it has to do with just the shift of going from potentially eating a lot of food that isn't what your body needs, and then switching to whole foods and healthier nutrients and foods, and then your whole body, just the inflammation going down and your digestion starting to work better and all these things. So powerful, powerful words of inspiration for anyone who has kids who's like, I can't lose weight. Everything is impossible for me, seeing an example like her. So I want to incorporate that into our conversation as well. I hope that as you listen to this conversation, if you have had an urge, a desire to transform some area of your life, that you ask yourself, what that is specifically, and that you today decide to commit to taking those actions, those bold actions that are going to get you there. All it takes is the clarity of what it is that you want, writing down what that's going to look like in action, and committing to doing it. If you do want to join my beautiful community and get the workouts and the nutrition and the daily routines to help you succeed, I'll put the link in the description. But I really do just want you to do it. However you are going to do it, show up for yourself, because when you do, it does not just transform your body, which I know a lot of us are going to be willing to put in this effort to transform our body, but what we very quickly will realize and notice is that it completely transforms our entire life. Compound effects into every single area of life. And that is why I'm so passionate about this, because I see it again and again and again with the people that I work with, and I've experienced it myself, and I know it on my own body, how big of an impact it plays in our life. So without further ado, let's get into this little conversation that I had during our challenge community chat this other day. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Pernilla, and this is my Challenge Your Norm podcast. I'm absolutely obsessed with anything related to personal development. And well, to grow, we got to challenge our norm. And so on this podcast, we chat about life and how we can challenge our normal way of living it to make it greater than we could have ever imagined. Just one little belief, habit, bold move, and challenge at a time.
Can I share a challenge and get some advice from people?
Yeah, of course.
So for me, I have the habit of going to the gym. What is hard for me is the eating part. That's the really tricky part. And it is tricky because I travel often and I have a lot of friends who like going out for dinners. So as you can imagine, it's like restaurant here and restaurant there and then out of town. And I try my best to get salads at the restaurants, but then my friends order delicious appetizers that are in front of me and it's so tempting. And next thing I know, I ate half of the nachos. So it's I'm trying my best, but it's hard with travel and all of the constant dinners. So I'm wondering if there's any advice or things that have worked for you for those circumstances.
I would love to share. I've been traveling nonstop for like 5 months now. And for the last many, many, many years, I've been on this journey and eating out with friends and eating at, family gatherings, all of it. For me, it's what do I want? Like for some of us, that's going to be, I want to be pretty clean in the weekdays. And then on the weekends, I want to ball out. For other people, it's like, I want to be healthy no matter what. For others, it's like, I'll have seasons where where I'm like on it, discipline. And then seasons where I let go more. Like everyone has different wants. So first thing is figuring out what do you actually want. And you're saying nutrition is a challenge for you. So it's like, firstly, getting clear on what does your dream nutrition approach look like? For me, I've had different seasons, but let's say I'm in a place where I want to get in the best shape of my life, which involves both my nutrition and my training. I want to go all out. I want it now, and I'm committed, and nothing is going to hold me back. If that's the commitment I make and that's what I want, I will find a way to make it work. When I'm in restaurants, yes, there's going to be appetizers. There's going to be my friends eating all the burgers and having all the delicious drinks and foods, but I'm on track because I know what I want. So I'm eating my chicken salad. And that's what I'm doing. If I'm in family gatherings, I make sure, I'll bring the salad so that I know that there's something for me to eat. Or I'm traveling, I pack my snacks so that I know I can eat, so that I don't mess up and eat something that I didn't want to eat. And that's the commitment I make to myself. I make sure that I am setting myself up for success. It's like what we were talking about before, preparation, right? Like preparing ourselves for that success. Not everyone wants to be that extreme, but that is an option that we all have. I'm more in a place right now where sometimes I'll have a little bit of something, and for the most part, I'll make sure to make the healthy option. And so when I'm out, I'll have maybe, let's say it's a healthy salad, but I'll also have a taste of the appetizers or the whatever chips on the side. I can't right now because I've been doing an AIP diet, but just like a general thing. It's like, the 80-20 rule works for a lot of people. But if I am in a season where I have a goal and I'm committed, I make it work. And I make sure to set myself up for success by preparing myself, getting really clear on my journaling. How am I going to make this work? How can I research what dishes they have at the restaurant I'm going to tonight so that I am really sticking to my plan. When we have a goal, it's possible. Yes, there's always going to be excuses. There's always going to be more delicious food to be had. But if you want something, it's possible, right? We are in control, whatever we want that to look like. Sorry, I'm rambling.
No, I
So
love it. I love it. That's inspiring. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
ideally, what would it look like for you? For example, when you're out with your friends.
I go out with my friends. I go there and order like a chicken salad or like a chicken fillet, and that's I get my protein that is still like low carbs and low fats. Ideally, that's what happens, and then I can do cutting to maintain muscle, but it's still getting leaner. And I love the part of the preparation because like if my friends go to I don't know like a pizza place and it's all pizza, well it's hard for me because there might not be options for me to eat. But if I can say, hey, I'm gonna prepare my healthy snack or I'm gonna prepare my healthy food, I'm gonna prepare my healthy options, then I'm gonna prepare. So no matter where I go, I will have an option one way or another that follows what I want.
Love that. And also, we can make high protein pizzas. There are some recipes in the books that are.
What? Can you share the recipe with me?
Oh, you have it already.
All
All the
right, okay.
recipes are in the welcome app. You can find all the different documents and the
Yeah.
recipes.
Okay, that's good to know. I like that thought of no matter where you are, you can always prepare and you can always make choices for what you want. Whether that is ordering the right thing that you want, whether that is preparing the food that you want, so that you can continue following your path. Because that's what I want right now. I want to cut. I want to stay in like that healthy diet eating process. So that's exactly what I want.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's amazing. Does anyone else have anything to share? I just started rambling completely.
Yeah, I'm actually going to back up Pernilla on this because that's kind of where I got mine from. Is I know Pernilla has said it in multiple of our challenges about how like when I'm out with people, like yeah, I know someone might order something different that might look really good, but I have to like constantly ask myself like, does this align with my goals if I order the burger or if I order the salad with chicken on it or something instead? And I do try as much as I can to look at a menu before I go. So if I know like there's not many options for me, I'll typically eat like a small meal before I even go, just so like I have something filling me a little bit, unless in case I get like something super small on the side while I'm there, and just say like I'm not that hungry or something, just because I don't want to have to like be rude and not order, but I also don't want to like skip out on my goals to make it worse. I mean, you could also go the extreme route. My brother's a bodybuilder and he will literally bring a pre-made meal to a restaurant with him. Not always like the best look, but I've seen him do it so much now that like he doesn't care when people say anything. And typically if you're super nice to the server and you just ask like, can I please just get like chicken with potatoes or something like really clean, they typically will do it. But obviously if it's like a really big party of like 12 people or something, they might not be as inclined.
I love that. I love that so much. And I also love, firstly, that since I've been on this AIP diet, I'll share a YouTube video on it soon. I've talked a little bit on it in previous challenges, but it's certain things I wasn't allowed to eat. And like, as long as you're nice about it, everyone's going to be nice back. If you boost with love and, maybe even like say, I'm really sorry for being annoying, or I'm trying to not excuse or say sorry so much as I do. But if you're nice about it, everyone is always going to be nice back, right? Like when someone is smiling, it's very hard to get mad at them. Like if you really have a kind approach. And I also love what you were sharing, Hazel. You've talked about it before. When you're so good about who you are, your authentic self, like your brother is just like, I'm just bringing my meal. Then it's like, if you're so okay with who you are and the choices you make, it's not going to matter what anyone else thinks. Plus, the more whole you are and accepting of who you are, the less anyone is going to be able to even come at you with anything, because you're just like, yeah, this is how I do my things. It's like, yeah, that can be funny. That can be crazy in your head, but this is who I am with anything in life, whether it's food or anything, right? It's like, yeah, that may be outside of the norm, but this is who I am. It's like, you can't come at someone that's just so okay with who they are. I love that.
Yeah, and I will add, like, I don't take stuff to restaurants. I haven't gone that far, but I will say, like, if we're out with like other people, I'll typically just have like a cooler in my car if I really know I'm gonna be hungry, and just bring something and like just try to like eat at the most respectful time at least. But I also know like when I've done that, like on our camping trips or something, that like if I have pre-made meals like ready to go for the weekend, like people will ask like, oh, like, what are you eating? And it's like, you have a chance to explain like, I'm on this like new journey and like, I'm trying to do like really well for myself and like have this new like mindset. And it kind of gets them interested and they'll start asking more questions. I've had multiple friends do that who are now like starting to look at what they eat more or starting to look at different recipes and like get more involved. And it's like, they didn't like think about it till somebody else around them brought it up.
Really inspired many people, Hazel. I remember in the beginning when we started chatting, it affected you that people were, questioning this all the time. And now it feels like a shift has happened within you because you've realized you're actually inspiring them. Like it's proven that you have, right? Because your friends are now doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I love that you're saying that because that really resonates with me. I think that's something that's holding me back. That belief that people will judge me if I go for what I want in life. Like I will be that person in the table having a salad and people are gonna hate me and are gonna judge me. But I think like, if someone hates you by who you are, then who cares? Just haters gonna hate. You should still go for what you want. And I think that's something that I wanna come into terms with.
It's so helpful when you talk about it only in terms of what how it makes you feel, because no one can argue with how something makes you feel. So if you say like, oh no, I brought this meal because it's healthier than what everyone's serving here, well, people then can't argue that, and they could feel judged, and then that can kind of make you less likely to do that in the future. But if you're like, oh, I brought this meal because I know it's gonna make me feel my best, or because this is what I need in order for me to feel the way that I need to feel, and then people are like, oh, like what can you say that? No, you don't need to feel that way. Like they can't really argue that. So it's like focusing on how you feel and what you want helps people to not feel judged and to kind of accept what you're doing.
That's a great way to put it.
I'd like to add something in this conversation. If someone judges you for, eating something that's healthy to you, like this is something I've been thinking about a lot recently, like not specifically that, but just people's actions towards you when you do something that's good for you is going to teach you about who you want to surround yourself with. Like if someone else is being like judging you or saying something bad, then that's like an opportunity for you to think like, oh, is this actually a person I want to be with if he's judging me for doing the best thing for me? So I've kind of like started resonating a lot more like that internally. Like I wouldn't maybe say something about it, but internally I would know, okay, like you think that's good for you, but I'm gonna do this for me. And now I also know where you stand in relationship to me and the way I see my health. So yeah, I just wanted to add that's kind of a reflection I've had recently, and I feel like it changes a lot because I feel like almost kind of gives you more self-respect and like self-love because you are like internally guarding that decision or guarding that feeling towards you. So almost sometimes I feel like if someone is saying something judgy or something about something that's important to me, it makes me want to do it even more because I'm like, I'll show you. I don't know, and maybe it's a bit of a different topic, but I just want to share that maybe in relationship to what you were saying.
Oh, I just wanted to jump into all of that is absolutely amazing between like the mindset and then all of the like kind of tips and tricks. One thing that I do in addition, I just recently heard about it. It's called like the 4-bite rule. And it sounds so ridiculous, but if you're having dessert or there is something that you want to indulge in, eat 4 bites a day. And what the gentleman talked about was the progression of like the first bite is amazing. And like the second bite is like really good, but not quite as amazing. By the 4th bite, you're like, yeah, like I enjoyed it and I can move on. So that's been working wonders for me, especially out with friends. The other thing is that I think sometimes we look so much at ourselves and forget, I do this all of the time, where I forget like nobody's really looking at me because everyone's concerned about how they're being perceived. And, I have a lot of friends with allergies and they take their food everywhere. Nobody bats an eyelash. Nobody cares, so I totally just say own it and do what you want with food,
I need to add to that because you're right. Like if you go out to pizza and someone doesn't order like pizza, they get like a salad and everyone thinks it's so weird. It's like, oh, well, I have like celiac or I can't have gluten or whatever if they don't have like a gluten-free option. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody says anything like, oh, I totally get it. But the second it's more of like, oh, I just want the salad because it's a little bit healthier, or oh, I'm going to get like vegetables instead of like pasta or something because it's more nutrient based or whatever, people start being like, wait, what? It's like it's so weird how it happens.
And here's the thing, you can feel it in your body. Have you ever had a triple cheeseburger with fries and then the next day you're like dying and you're like feel terrible, and then you have like chicken and vegetables and whole grains and then you feel good and you feel well. Like it really can be felt by the body totally.
Oh my God, you guys are amazing. I love this so much.
Pernilla, I feel like this conversation happens every month for these challenges because I know
Yeah.
like it was a big deal for me when I started doing these challenges and everyone around me was like, wait, I don't understand like what you're changing. And I felt so judged. And I was like, are they gonna like me anymore if I'm eating this way, or if I'm like, oh, I want to get up earlier so I can work out, or I'm gonna go to bed earlier so I can be up earlier. And now it's just so natural for me. But I totally remember being there and being like, I have to almost do like a friend audit to be like, who's gonna still like me or want to be around for this?
Yeah. It's so big. I feel like if we go on this journey of being okay with like eating the foods that we deep down want to eat and showing up authentically as ourselves in that way, first of all, that gives us freedom to actually align our actions with the goals that we want to achieve, right? But it just helps us live more authentically in all these other areas of our life. So the food example is really just one example of how we need to show up for ourselves in every single area of life, regardless of what people are going to think and say. It's really, if we think about it, like a lot of you guys mentioned, it's like what they think of us is just a projection of whatever they're not loving within themselves. Like if we are judging anyone, it's because it's something we're judging ourselves for when we show that side of ourselves. So if we can also even just when someone says that to us, look at it as, wow, I'm sending you love because this is a part I'm learning to love within myself. And I want and wish for you to learn one day to love that within yourself too, right? It's really because they've been taught that you have to follow the norm, whatever that is for them, to be good enough as a human. And you're learning you don't. I can be who I want to be and be a good human. And I wish for that for you as well. Then we can send love to them rather than being like, get angry or affected in any way. Because the thing we need to protect the most is our energy, right? It's like that's what we live in. We live in our energy all the time. And so if we can just stay pure and whole and loving in that energy, then every single day is just going to be so much better. Not that we shouldn't go through struggles too, because that's obviously a part of life and that's what we grow from and stuff. But if we can at least like the more we can, the better, I think.
I think that's something so beautiful because I do my very best not to judge other people. If people want around me, they want to have a salad, good for them. If they want to have a burger, good for them. They can do whatever they want with their life. I'm there for them, for what happiness means for them. And I want that the other way. I want people to accept me and support me the way that I want. Like if I want to eat a salad, I want people to support me that way. So I think that's a very good way to see it.
I think no one ever tells you that the transition phase is going to be really, really hard, because the thing is that you, Miguel, are committed now to become a different person, right? So you're stepping into the future version of yourself, and that person is very different to what your friends are used to, right? You are going to be the weird guy that brings the salad pre-packed, okay? You're the one who's showing up and making sure everyone's eating their vegetables, like, or just like really being okay with that. I think for you to feel that way is actually really, really good, because it shows that you're out of your comfort zone, you're growing, and you're stepping into this new version of yourself. So you always want to question yourself, because it's like, yeah, is this the new future version that I'm living right now, right? If the answer is yes, then you're like, yeah, you get used to it. It gets easier. And Pernilla can tell you that as well. I felt so awkward every single day when I was going out for friends barbecue and whatnot. I was always the one bringing the veggies and the dip all of the sudden, rather than the pizza and everything. And I love what Katie said as well, about telling them how you feel about it, because no one can question your feelings on food, right? So if you say like, hey, I love that burger, can I have a bite? That's totally fine, because I always want to like try new food. So I sometimes like, have a little bite here and there, but that's it, because I don't want the whole thing, because I know, as you said, your cheeseburger is making you feel right? And you don't want that. And if your chicken salad is really hitting the sweet spot for you, then you're like, yeah, I just really love chicken salad. I mean, you can say I'm crazy, but it just makes me feel really good. And your friends will see that energy in you, right? And they'll be like, dang, he's just so happy the way he is, and it will feel uncomfortable, like maybe for a couple of months, maybe even half a year, but then it will also feel really, really good, because whenever Like every single time you're making this decision in your head to be the version of yourself that you want to be, right? So you have a decision to make every single time you go out with your friends. You're like, okay, am I going to be that next version of me? Is this the time now to bring him to life? Or do I step back into old habits because I just want to conform with my friend? And there will be pushback. They will be like, oh, wait, weird. Like you were different. But if they can see that spark in your eyes and that you're just so much happier, then they're like, can I have that chicken salad too? Because I'm not sure what eating, but this is really like whatever he's radiating, I want to. Whatever he's on, you know what I mean?
That's inspiring. That's inspiring.
I'm totally the person that's like, yeah, I love chicken salad. I actually do. It's so wild how your taste buds get addicted to new things. Now I'm going to mention the AIP diet again, but I was like, how am I going to have my sweet tooth satisfied? I cannot eat any processed. I cannot eat any sweetener. The only thing I'm allowed to is fruit. Like how, yes, I love fruit. It's sweet. It's nice, but I also can't just like live off of fruit. And like, how am I going to do this? And on day like 5, I started craving dates and bananas and things like that that I've
Oh,
never before
interesting.
creating. So it's wild how quickly our taste buds adapt. And same thing happened back when I like wanted to start eating healthy. Never would I want a chicken salad when eating out. Absolutely not. And now when I go out, I'm like, yeah, this is so good. Like wild. Not that I always have chicken salads anymore, but like it's good. I love it.
I feel so lame, but I was like, hi, my name is Miguel. I like chicken salad. You really do get to like it and love it after you have had it several times and you can make it your way.
Yeah, I think it's a vibe. I think you can tell when someone is showing up authentically, and I think that is what attracts. I think it's the most attractive thing in the world, regardless of whether I agree or don't, when someone is authentically them. Like nothing is more attractive than that. It's so powerful.
But it's also
What?
because you're renegotiating with yourself more than with your friends, right? So because right now what you're doing is like you order a chicken salad and you feel weird, but it's not because your friends are like, hey, this is weird. It's more because your old self is like, hey, this is weird. Normally I'm having a cheeseburger. What's wrong here? And you can even like form out a dialogue in your head with like your new future version of yourself, or like create an alter ego. That actually really helped me. Same things, but basically you're separating the person that you want to be and step into the role of that character. And that will not feel weird then, because that new person of you, as you said, loves chicken salad, right? Maybe doesn't really like the burger. Maybe he likes 2 bites of that and he's good with that, you know? But the old, and you will have that constantly during the next couple of weeks, because the same happened to me and it's still happening. I'm having conversations with my future self and I'm like, that feels weird. And it's like, yeah, but I'm doing this on a regular basis. Like, this is so normal for me. Why are you even making this a big deal? And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Huh. Okay, cool. You know, just checking in.
So powerful. What an awesome chat. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone, on this topic. I know it's a vulnerable topic. Food is very, very hard to talk about, but not in this group, it ain't, because this is a safe space.
Well, I have to tell you, like, it's so interesting. It's like learning to speak a new language, like the nutrition aspect, you know? I really think it's amazing. It's so good. It's just, but it really is. It's like you talk about, like just learning what you can substitute and make your meals and everything just a little bit healthier, a little bit step up. It's like, I feel like I'm actually starting to speak this language now. And I can definitely see like the numbers on the scale. I slowed down on just my junk food so that wasn't going like all in right in the beginning of September. It wasn't such a drastic change, but like from the middle of August until now, I've lost 9 pounds.
Wow, huge congratulations. That's a lot of hard work.
Still exciting though, because it's just like I feel like who I am on the inside is beginning to come back to who I know I have been in the past.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I know what it feels like having what it feels like you are on the inside come out to the external people.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Totally.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah. Thank you. This is amazing. Like your program, just doing the things and applying like some of it. Very good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. That got me so hyped. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this conversation. I hope it sparked some sort of inspiration or enlightenment within you as to how you can show up authentically and make choices that are aligned with what you deep down want. If you want to join our challenge, I'll put the link in the description. But most importantly, I just hope that you commit to doing this thing that you deep down want, whatever that looks like for you. We're all such different individuals and have different goals, but whatever it is that you want, I hope you create a plan and you follow through with it. A community, as we have in our community, is powerful beyond words because it helps us stay consistent. It helps us understand that we're not alone in this. Other people are with us on this journey, and it just helps us continuously show up. Also with our daily posts, like just is very inspiring. So whether you join our community or you have another community that can help support you in it, I think that's very, very powerful. We start on October 1st with a final 90 days of 2024 for anyone who wants to join the October challenge, November challenge, and December challenge, because I thought, why not spend the final 90 days of the year leveling up and actually achieving our January resolution, so that when we wake up on January 1st, we've already accomplished our goal. We already wake up empowered, ready to freaking crush 2025. When we wake up on January 1st already as the best possible version of ourselves, then we can be like, I already have the habits down. I've already put my systems into place. Now, what do I want for 2025? Because I am so freaking ready. Because as I mentioned, when we transform our body, it's not just our body. It transforms our entire life perspective and just, oh, it's powerful. And you deserve it. You deserve to freaking go do the thing that you deep down desire to go do, because you're more than capable. I promise you that. It's all in the mind. And if you commit, you can do it. So my challenge of the day is to figure out what you want and go freaking do it. Because as always, remember that in order for you to grow, you have to challenge your norm. Bye.